tubes, tables, whitewashed windows, grime from age wiped over once, legs spread, anxious, eyes rolling up on me, eyes rolling in my thighs, metal horses gnawing my womb, 10 bites fall from my mouth. I really didn't mean to. I really didn't think I could. Just one day off. Get off of me, all of this blood. Bones shattered like soft ice cream cones. I couldn't have people looking at me, pregnant. I couldn't have my friends see me like this. Dying, dangling between my legs. And I didn't say a thing. Not a sigh or a fast scream. To get those eyes out of me. To get those still rods out of me. This hurts. This hurts me. And nobody came. 'Cause nobody knew. Once I was pregnant and ashamed of myself.
The library was down from the trolley tracks, crossed from the laundromat, through the big shining floors and granite pillars St. Louis is famous for. I found Tucson, but not till after months. A Cajun Katie, Pippi Longstocking, Eddie Ayworth, and a Pooh Bear. In the children's room, only Pioneer girls and magic rabbits and big city white boys. I know I wasn't supposed to, but I ran into the adults' reading room and came across Tucson, my first black man. I never counted George Washington cover because I didn't like peanuts. Still, Tucson was a Negro, like my mama said, who refused to be a slave. And he spoke French and didn't allow no white man to tell him nothing. Not Napoleon, not Maximilian, not Robespierre. Tucson Overture was the beginning of reality for me. In the summer contest for who colored child can read 15 books in 3 weeks, I won. And I raved about Tucson Overture. At the afternoon ceremony, was disqualified because Tucson belonged in the adult reading room. And I cried and carried dead Tucson home with me in the book. He was dead and living to me because Tucson and them, they held the citadel against the French with the spirits of old dead African from out of the ground. Tucson led their armies of zombies, walking, cannonballs, shooting spirits of free Haiti. And they wasn't slaves no more. Tucson Overture was my secret lover. At the age of 8, I entertained him in my bedroom with a flashlight on the covers. Way into the night, we discussed strategies. How to remove white girls from my hopscotch game and etc. Tucson was lying in bed with me next to Raggedy Ann the night I decided to run away from my integrated home, integrated school, integrated street. 1955 was not a good year for little black girls. Tucson said, let's go to Haiti. I said, all right, and packed some very important things in a brown paper bag so I wouldn't have to come back. Then Tucson and I, we took the streetcar down to the river. Last stop, only 15 cents, because there wasn't nobody could see Tucson except me. And we walked all down through North St. Louis where the French settlers used to live in tiny brick houses all huddled together with windows barely missing and shingles uneven and colored kids playing and women on low porches drinking beer. I could talked to Tucson down by the river like this was where we was supposed to stow away on a fishing rig for New Orleans and catch a boat for Haiti. And then we was just gonna read and talk all the time and eat fried bananas. We was just walking and skipping when this old young boy jumped out at me saying, "Hey girl, you better come over here and talk to me." Well, I turned to Tucson, who was furious, and I shouted, "You silly old boy, you better go on and leave me alone or Tucson's gonna get your ass." The old boy came round the corner all laughing up in my face. "Hey girl, you sure must be somebody to know my name so quick." I was disgusted and wanted to get on to Haiti without some tacky old boy from bothering me. Still, he just stood there, kicking milk cartons and bits of bricks. And I said to Tucson, "What should I do?" Tacky old boy, I said to him, "Who is you?" He said, "My name is Tucson Jones." I looked straight at him. Those skinny out corduroy pants, a striped t-shirt, 2 holes in the elbows, and a fresh scar over his eye. And I said, "What's your name again?" He said, "I am Tucson Jones." Wow. I'm on my way to Haiti to see Tucson's overture. You some kin to him? He don't take no stuff from no white folks, and they got a country all their own, and they ain't got no slaves. That silly old boy squinted his face all up. "Looky here, girl. I am Tucson Jones, and I don't take no stuff from no white folks. You don't see none around here, do you?" Then he sort of pushed out his chest and said, "Come on, let's go on down to the docks and look at the boats." I felt real puzzled going down to the docks with my brown paper bags and my books. And I felt Tucson Overture kind of leave me, and I was sad. Till I realized Tucson Jones wasn't too different from Tucson Overture, except the old one was in 80, and this one was right here with me, eating apples and speaking English. Yeah, Tucson Jones was all right with me. No telling what spirits we could move down by the river, 1955, St. Louis.
She was hot, a deliberate coquette, who never did without what she wanted, and she wanted to be unforgettable. She wanted to be a memory, a wound to every man arrogant enough to want her. She was the wrath of women in windows, figure, and shades. Old lace curtains, camouflaging despair and stretch marks. So she glittered honestly, delighted she was desired, and allowed those especially scheming tactful suitors to experience her body and spirit tearing. So easily blending with theirs, and they were so happy, and lay on her lime sheets full and wet. From her tongue she kissed them reverently, even ankles, edges of beards.
At 4:30 a.m. she rose, moving the arms and the legs that trapped her. She sighed, affirming the sculptured man, and she made herself a bath of dark oils and Egyptian crystal and fluid water to remove his scent, to wash away the glitter, to watch as the butterflies melt into the sun, to watch the rhinestones fall beneath her buttocks like pebbles in the desert. See, laying in water, she becomes herself. Ordinary, a brown braided woman with big legs and full lips, just regular. She suddenly remembered she needed to get back to her night's work, so she rushed to her desk and she straddled on the pillow and she said, "You gotta be going now. You got what you came for, didn't you? Here are your pants. I got some coffee on the stove. Why don't you leave?" And he sat there dumbfounded and mumbled something about crazy bitches while she repeated, "Why don't you go home? I've got a lot of work to do." And she could have very well been slapped upside the head or verbally challenged, but she never was. And the ones who fell prey to the dazzling of her hips had wanted nothing more than to lie between her sparkling thighs. And they had planned on leaving before dawn, but she was so divine. But now she stood, just a regular colored girl, full of the same malice, the same living indifference as her sister. And she would laugh gaily, or vengefully, thinking about how she wanted to be unforgettable. She longed to be a wound to every single man. Arrogant enough for her.
I used to live in the world, and then I moved to Harlem, and now my universe is 6 blocks. When I walked in the Pacific, I imagined waters, ancient from Accra, tunas cleansing me, feeding me, and now my ankles are coated in the gray filth from the puddles neath the hydrant. My oceans were life. What waters I have here sit stagnant, circling all men's bodies, shit and broken little whiskey bottles left to make me bleed. I used to live in the world, and then I moved to Harlem, and my universe is now 6 blocks, a tunnel and a train. I can ride anywhere, remaining a stranger. No, man, I don't want to go with you. I don't even know you. No, I don't want to kiss you. You ain't but 12 years old. Go away, please. No, tomorrow. I can't use it. I could stay alone, a woman in the world, and then I move to Harlem. I come in at dusk, stay close to the curb, round midnight, praying won't no young man think I'm pretty in the dark morning. Wouldn't be good, not good at all, to meet a tall, black, brown young man full of his power in the dark. In my universe is 6 blocks, straight up brick walls, women hanging out of windows like old silk stockings, cats crying, children giggling, a tavern with red curtains, bad smells, kissing ladies smiling and dirt sidewalks, spitting men cursing, playing. I spent more money yesterday than the day before, and that's more than you nigga ever got a hold of. Come here, bitch, can't you see this is $5? I could stay alone, a woman in the world, and then I moved to Harlem. I can't be nice to nobody, not anymore. Nice is such a ripoff. Regular beauty and a smile in the street is just a setup. I used to live in Harlem, a woman in the world. I had a right to the world, and then I moved to Harlem for the setup. A universe, 6 blocks of cruelty piled up on itself. A tunnel closing.
Ever since I realized there was someone called the colored girl, an evil woman, a bitch, or a nag, I try not being that and leaving bitterness in someone else's cup. Coming to somebody to love me without deep and nasty smelling scar from lie, or being left screaming in a street full of lunatics whispering, slut, bitch, bitch. Nigga, get out of here with all of that. I had none of that for you. I gave you a joy I found. I found joy. Honest fingers around my face and dead musicians on 78s in Cuba and live musicians on $5 LPs in Chicago where I've never been. And I loved Willie Colon and Arsenio Rodriguez because I could make the music loud enough where there was no more me but dance. And when I could dance like that, nothing hurt me. I get tired. And I have to come off the floor and then there's that woman who hurt you, who you went back to 3 or 4 times after you put my heart in the bottom of your shoe. You just went back to where you hurt. I didn't have nothing. I went where somebody had something for me, but he wasn't you. And I was walking back from that woman's house in the bottom of your shoe, so this is not a love poem, because there are only memorial albums available. And even Charlie Mingus desperately wanted to be a pimp. And I won't be able to see Eddie Palmieri for months. So this is a requiem for myself, because I've died in a real way.